I don't know what this book is about, but something here resonates with me. And when I was reading this Jaye Seal, I just felt amazing. And the basic premise is that just I'm gonna briefly say everything that describes it for a second. So, a Jaye Seal is called a Jehovian seal. Okay. So Jehovah, in more of a Earth's evolution context, like as far as Earth's timeline is concerned, Jehovah was. How are you? Peace. Welcome. Jehovah, in essence, was a false god, right? So
Yep.
okay. Let me just briefly wrap this up. So an archangel named Lucifer, right, decided that he wanted to, instead of following the plan of source, he wanted to have free will, which is completely understandable. So most angels and archangels do not have free will. They're following the plan of the source. So when he separated from that, he created a different god altogether. And so from that, they created some false gods. And from there, they started to call themselves Jehovah. And the Jehovian God was a God that didn't have the true life force of source. It didn't have the true life force of the complete essence of Mother, Father, God. And so what they did was they created these seals along the Earth's grid. From everything that I've read, it's along the eastern coastline of the United States of America. And the main spot is in Charleston, South Carolina. So they created all these seals there, and they stuck these heavy crystals in there. Mind you, this was like 200,000 years ago.
Hi. Hello.
Everybody pops up at the same time. Perfect. So yeah, 200,000 years ago, they create these seals on the earth. And since we are born from Mother Earth, all of us inherit these seals, these Jehovian seals. We inherit all these seals, and they go in certain parts of our body, mainly our left side. And our left side is our feminine aspect of reality. It's our feminine nature. It's our receiving side. It's our side of spirituality. And so it just makes sense that also beliefs that are not congruent with who we are as a soul or spirit are starting to come into our being because we lost track with our higher self, in essence, a long time ago. And ever since, really the 1930s, more and more people are beginning to wake up. With all those movements we had in the 30s with Godfrey Ray King and for the Violet Flame, from Paramahansa Yogananda from India, almost everybody's waking up to these new realities. So it's almost as if we're starting to release these Jaye Seals, but we're doing it in a very unorthodox way. So when I came upon the Jaye Seal the other day, it's like hitting the nail with a hammer instead of tapping it with your fist, because you're hitting the core of why we've been stuck for so long. And when I started to read about the Jaye Seals, this is my intuition. This is what I'm starting to feel. When I had the actual thing done to me, the activation, the release, I was laying down on this couch. It was 8:30 in the morning, and the guy that I trusted to do this on me, he said, "Okay, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to start." So he starts, and I can feel the stuff coming out of me. It was almost as if I was dancing. Like I was dancing so much that it just started to be pulled out of me. Everything was being pulled out of me. It was like ripped, and I was feeling it. It was coming. And I was like, "Wow, this is incredible." Later on during that day, my mind, it felt so clear. It was almost as if I had this brain fog for years, and it just unwrapped itself like an onion, and I can finally smell the fresh smell of nature again. It's beautiful. And the way I describe it is my emotions right now are just very raw. I'm feeling more. It's almost as if I feel more alive, have more energy. And this makes sense, because if all of our stuff is sealed up, then it's going to go to something else. And I think it's very beautiful that I get the opportunity to share this with y'all, and that I get to just allow this to evolve in our community and our soul family. And that's very, very important to me. Yeah.
That's amazing. So where is the person who did the removal? Where is he located?
So he has a Facebook. If you go to the link that I posted inside of our group chat, he's going to be on there. And so you click on that link and you can find all of his stuff on there. But just send him an email and he'll just correspond with you. And then you'll be able to find his Facebook, see his face, see what he does. You can read all of his testimonials on that link, every single testimonial you can find. And as you'll start to see, you'll start to intuitively trust this person because he has this great energy about him. When you read testimonials, you start to feel as if you can trust this guy because every single person you're reading is having a transformation. Every person you're reading about is having a deeper connection with their spirit. And it's really, not to get off the path right here, but it's really about taking the small steps towards the truth, of what we feel is true in our hearts. And making those steps is only going to bring us to a better place in our life. And I feel that this Jaye Seal is very important. And at the same time as doing the Jaye Seals, he's also removing implants. Because he can see things, he goes in and he sees it. And just like a surgeon does, in modern medicine, he starts to take things out that are holding you back and controlling you. Maybe past relationships or past romantic relationships or even platonic with your family, with your friends, things that never really felt good to you, karma that should be released. He's helping you release this stuff. And he's doing it in a very authentic way that I feel really resonates with me. And it's beautiful. And you can find him on that link. And he's going to
put that link also in the 13 key group.
Yeah.
Put that in the group too, so it stays up on our page.
If somebody could put that link, we can actually put this recording on that 13 page.
We'll do that too.
Perfect. So
can I ask you guys a question? Does he remove our contact links, attachments?
That's what that is. Yeah, there's a whole thing about our contact.
So
yeah, Jarrett read it to me and I read it over. Yeah.
So essentially, basically, this guy has many things that he does. One of them is he actually helps people to unplug from the matrix. And every single healing modality that he does on his page, every service that he lists, he gives a long description that explains everything he does. His descriptions make sense. They're simple, easy to read, and they just help you get a better understanding as to where we are on this planet Earth in 2018 and almost how we got here in this aspect of reality. Like how did we get to the position where we're on Earth, we're in these different places, we're separated from our soul family? Like, it all starts to make sense in a certain way, because all of us, if we're all striving for ascension, we're all striving for bringing light into our body and shining it through this planet, we should be together in large groups, meditating, practicing this, communing with the earth. And I feel like I'm channeling right now, but this work this guy does is very beautiful. And I'm just, again, once more, I'm so glad to share it with you,
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And how many songs are there?
Okay, so
can you read just the name of what each one is? And you can say the whole name.
Yeah, for sure. So
are these like the biblical seals that they talk about? That it's in Revelation that
Very similar.
So he doesn't only take away your Jehovian seals, but he takes away so many other seals. There's a Zeta seal. He takes away.
Wow.
If anybody's ever heard of the Zeta Reticuli,
Yep.
they're an extraterrestrial race that they are malevolent, as you can say. It's more of a negative extraterrestrial race, and they place a seal within the Earth grid and a human framework that all of us are working with. All of us, our bodies are called Adam Kadmon bodies, like Adam and Eve, Adam Kadmon bodies. All the Ascension library and research that everybody reads, they call this body an Adam Kadmon body, the human body. But like people in other solar systems, other places, they may look like insects, but like all of us still have this soul that we can see through anything that is different in reality. But anyway, So he doesn't only just take away the J seals, but he takes away Zeta seals, takes away these negative Metatronic seals, which has nothing to do with Archangel Metatron. He takes away those seals. He takes away the Tower of Babel seals. He takes away so many other seals. Plus,
Wow.
this same thing that he does, he removes implants. He also removes cords. He's removing so many other things. And he's using his vision to do it. And when you see this guy's face, it's just like you can feel that human contact, you know, when you see a face, you know, like perfect example. Like whenever somebody takes a picture on Facebook, right? And you can see their eyes, you can see their face and everything. It's almost as if you can almost see their soul to a certain extent. So I definitely recommend to go visit his Facebook page. It's pretty awesome. And just to see what he's about, and contact him yourself and see if he is for you, you know, because ultimately at the end of the day, you have to go with your own truth to see what feels right for you. And I honor that, and it's very important that we all honor each other's truth. But do
you think that everybody does have these seals? It's just across the board. It's just how it is.
So all these seals have been put inside the earth, and since all of us come from the earth, we inherit the seals that come with us. And I'll give you an example. One of the testimonials that he has on his website is from a lady, and she said before she had her J seals removed, she was a constant meditator, and she meditated all the time. She did her yoga, she did her breathing, she did all this stuff, but she never had a psychic experience. All right. Now this is just an example. She said when she had her J seal removed, I think it's J seal 7 from the pineal gland, when she had that removed, the next day she saw her first psychic vision, and she started dreaming again.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things I don't know about life. I'll just be honest. And it's almost as if we're trying to unwrap all of this falsity that we've inherited from the earth. We've inherited from the collective unconscious for millennia, for like hundreds of thousands of years. And as human beings come here, you know, I can almost imagine as a soul, before I incarnate into a human body, what I'm actually discussing. Like, what is my mission when I come into this human body on earth? What do I want to accomplish? You know, I don't want to just have this job and just have this job until I die and not do anything really important or meaningful. I want to do something meaningful. I want to help myself bring in more light into my body. I want to do all the stuff. I want to, you see what I mean? And so as we're in the ethers higher up and more in the heavens, we have more of a free range of thinking. We have more of a greater understanding because our knowledge and our wisdom is unlimited. You see, but when we come on earth, we inherit all this education that is improper. And so it's our job to just let that go and try to find out what is the truth. And that's just, I guess that's the theme of tonight, is trying to find the deepest aspects of what it means to be human. And that's so important. And I keep digressing, but it's just it's important to my heart, and that's what I feel is related to what's going on with the removal of the seals.
I hear you. Definitely. I think it's about that. Going
Your microphone
unwrap.
Juliet, your microphone is kind of sketchy. Are you talking close to the microphone?
Yeah.
Can you try to like back up see if it can get it clearer by not talking so closely?
Oh, okay. Is that better?
A little bit.
Is it better right now?
Yeah, that was better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I just think it's good to get the art and the programming
Debbie.
I think that's Juliet, but I can't hear you.
Juliet.
From the mic.
I really want to hear what you have to say. Is there like a do you have headphones anywhere?
Yeah, headphones. Put some headphones with microphones, because I think your microphone is blown on your phone. It's just that sometimes I can hear you, but then it like breaks. It gets like kind of like fuzzy.
Share
You
the
must You must have something very important to tell us.
Website.
Yes, she does. Totally.
Yes. You're going to do this. You're going to make it happen. We're here for you. Fine. That says Megan Wheeler.
Interesting. Why is it so hard to get into this chat?
Yeah, Megan can't get in. We have breakup of sound from Juliet with her phone.
So
Yeah. I don't know if Debbie's not here anymore, is she? I don't think so.
I put it on mute because I just want to let everybody else talk.
Okay.
The problem is I just texted Megan because what the problem was is that when you hit the call number, you wait because it automatically asks you to put the code in, and then I just waited because I tried to put the code in and it kept overriding me, and then I realized that it asked you to put the code in and then it automatically puts it in. So I just told her to wait and allow the code to go in automatically.
Okay. She'll get in then.
Yeah, she should get in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Okay. So
Debbie, with you and Ressa, you worked with J codes too last night, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Uh-huh.
Can you tell us your experience?
Yeah, if you'd like to share.
It'd be really good for Reza to share that one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it says Megan is reinstalling the app.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Reza, are you there?
Reza said that
Sure, her coverage wasn't very good with her phone.
Let me ask this question. Is there any other place we can go right now that would have better service for us to talk?
Yeah, but then we won't be able to record it. I have no way of recording via video.
You can record it on your phone.
I can record it voice recorder, but I can't record it video.
Oh.
It would be great if we can just try it out. What could we do? Is there Facebook group chats?
Juliet said
Not recordable.
Juliet said she would type in her questions. I mean, that's what her message was just now.
So she obviously can hear.
She can hear everyone perfectly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hi, Megan.
What's up, Megan?
Hey, we see you.
Megan, how are you? She frozen? Where is
I
she?
don't know.
Is she meditating?
No, I wonder if she's got mute on by accident.
Can you guys hear me?
We see you.
I can hear you.
Megan, we can hear.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh, good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so Reza, it sounds like you're back on. Do you want to share what we did last night?
Yeah.
Perfect.
What was so funny about that? I don't know. Let's go.
Okay, so
Chair. It's good not having to speak for once.
who are you?
Yeah. What chair?
I mean, like when I came into this chat, I didn't have anything like. I usually have bullet points of what I want to say, and I didn't get the opportunity to do that today. So it's almost like I'm all over the place. But what do you guys think of Jaye Seals? Like intuitively, what is it that you feel like within your own truth? Do you feel like it resonates with you? Do you feel like it's something that you think is cool, something you maybe want to try?
Well, I've always thought Jehovah was an interloper. Whenever I read about him in the Bible, he just sounded like such a false god. It just rubbed me the wrong way from being a little kid. So it wouldn't surprise me that he would try to put seals on the earth and try to take over for his own false agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Completely resonates with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I see him as a warlord.
You heard it right, everybody. Warlord.
Warlord.
Jehovah is.
Yeah, he was just disgusting the way he would just kill mercilessly in the Bible, his stories. It was just not at all correct. So
What Juliet just said, she said, I definitely want to work out my Jaye Seals. I felt them my entire life.
hmm,
I'll give you an example. So Eric has friends. All right. I'm just kidding, dude. So Eric has these friends, right? And they say that their whole left side of their body is hurting. Isn't it
Me
true?
too. Me too, actually. Yeah.
It's like Megan,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that like we could have something in our body we don't know about our entire life.
hmm
And it's such a, it's like, how much do we really know? You know what I mean? And I like, I don't know, I don't like, do you ever have breakthroughs whenever you're like off topic, but have any of you ever experienced a breakthrough with something in your life and you're like, how did I discover this? Right?
hmm
You're like,
Oh, yeah.
and then you go back in your mind, like you retrace the steps, like, how did I discover this? You know what I mean? And it's just like that thing. Like I was researching this one thing and I came upon the Jaye Seals. And
Mm.
I feel that,
That's because everybody's going through that. Everybody's starting to clear that through their layers. And I always find that, like, all the time that we've been doing different meditations, the next step comes, and then the next step comes, and then the next step comes, and it comes either through, through a link or Facebook or through an email, and all of a sudden it clicks and go, oh, this is the next step. And I feel like, when you came across the Jaye Seals, it resonated so strongly, and Reza especially is having a lot of pain down her left side, and she just could never figure out, what it was. And she was constantly going to this chiropractor guy, but he does a lot of muscle testing and everything. And he was blown away. She went today, and he just turned around and said, I can't find anything. I can't find anything.
wow.
And then he muscle tested her to see if she needed to come back, because basically what he does is he tunes in and muscle tests for where she's out spiritually and where the blockages are spiritually in her body. And he couldn't find anything after we cleared the Jaye Seals last night, and we cleared the Zeta Seals, and we cleared the Metatron and the shadow body. I mean, we went through the whole. Reza sat down and wrote down everything that guy said he cleared, and she wrote down 3 pages of what like how we're going to go through and clear the Jays from 1 to 7, and then we went through all the others as well and cleared them all out. It was a 2.5-hour process.
Whoa.
And what blew us away is that when we're clearing after each, when we started to tune in, and I could see the black, actually where the black holes were in her seals, in her body, in those say J1 and J2. Every time I was asked to look in and see if I could see the black holes, I could. And so then I used a Lemurian. I actually was asked to use a Lemurian crystal that I have to pull it, to actually put the diamond light in and dissolve all the blackness and the goo out of there, completely dissolve it out. And then what appeared was this big long snake that I had to pull through that crystal and put it into the Merkaba crystal that I had.
Yeah.
And we actually tone it out to get it out, and it was like it was wrapped around tissues and stuff. And then after that, we both blew in the diamond energy back into there and saw the golden web going in and reconnecting all the tissues and the nerves and the energy all back into place and realign it all.
Wow.
It was a really powerful process.
That's amazing.
ditto.
So she said she just felt so full of energy, and her mind was so clear, and she just felt so vibrant. She just, and her face changed. It's just like glowing.
Amazing.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys about something that happened to me yesterday. So for some reason, like my face, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but there's like little bumps all over my face.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty rare for me to get like a rash, and I had put on like just like this like highlighter thing, just like a makeup thing that I've worn before, but for some reason this time it like just completely, like, it started last night. I felt a little bit of a rash. I was like, oh, weird, and then I just put on my same moisturizer as normal. I had a dream, and in that dream my eye, like, in the dream I was going to bed with makeup on even though I wasn't, and it was like dark all around my eyes, and then I looked really closely, and then all through here the black goo was like draining out of my eye, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror, and like most of my face has this rash. So I'm like, I'm clearing something, it needs to be cleared more. It's just like, and it's actually come up to my ears. So on my ears there's like the same rash. Yeah, so
It's interesting you should say that, Megan. I have a rash on my face as well, up at the top. I got it the past, I would say it's painful actually. 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reza's got the same thing. She got a rash that broke out a little bit on her face, behind her left ear. Became very tender and sore, and her ears felt blocked. And then they were releasing, but then she also broke out in a rash on her chest, just a very small one. And she goes, I don't know what's happening. And I just said, your body's just, it's just dumping out, getting rid of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm figuring it to be. Yeah.
It has to be.
That's amazing. Well, thank goodness.
Megan, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it was just like, you're welcome. It was just like weird with the darkness there, and like yesterday night I went to a sound healing circle, and I felt like my third eye was really activated during that. She had 2 bowls for the third eye, and I felt like when that happened I felt kind of like my face, and then it was that night that I noticed like the black goo like dripping out, and that's not imagery that I've ever seen before or resonated with, and I heard you guys talking about it. I was kind of like, oh, interesting. And then so then last night it showed itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, like, Megan, with your dream right there, there's like so much that you could take from that dream and just create, like for instance, it's almost representing, like, I'll tell you a story. So I remember reading this Buddhist text, and the Buddha was explaining to somebody, like somebody asked the Buddha, why don't you awaken everybody, right? And he said, well, we have 3 types of people in the world, okay? You have one person whose eye is fully open, right? It's fully open, they're clear, it's beautiful, they can see perfectly. And then you have another person whose eye is half shut, and they have a little crust in there. And then you have another person whose eye is fully shut, and they have crust all over their eyes. Remember, this is a metaphor, right? So he says, I don't want to work with people whose eyes are fully shut, because there's just no point at this moment. You can love them, you can have compassion for them, you can show them the greatest kindness as possible, because that's what you should do. And he said, but the people whose eyes are almost halfway open, he says, you have a chance to help them. And those are the people that really want to help. So what I got from you, Megan, is like, it's almost as if you're just awakening and you're letting go of stuff. That's what I feel, and it's beautiful. Like letting go of black goo, amazing. It's almost as if like it was happening maybe etherically or emotionally or mentally in the different bodies that we have, and then it just manifested the release through the physical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
It's like the guy, like perfect example is the guy who did the Jaye Seals on me. By the way, his name is Jaye Pause, which is so funny. Jaye Pause. I guess he's pausing the matrix for us. Anyway, so what he said in the follow-up email is that you may have a divine fever. You may have like you may get sick. You may start feeling sad. You may start feeling emotional. You may start laughing. You may start doing all this, but it's quite possibly the same thing that you're going through, Megan.
Yeah.
You as well, Joni. Juliet, I wish you were here. Maybe Juliet has a story too, but same thing with Reza as well. And this stuff is powerful. I mean,
guys, look, you have to see this. I have this fly.
Hello.
It just hangs out on me. It won't leave. Normally they fly away, but it just hangs out. It's alive, but
So precious.
Yeah. So Reza just texted in the chat 5 minutes ago. She said that she's gonna be available in the next 5 minutes. So
Nice.
Juliet just said, I drink a lot of super duper herbal teas to move stuff on.
Mhm.
Juliet, let me ask you a question. What is your favorite and most powerful tea that you feel has a mind-body connection that helps you with this process? It's so interesting that the fly is there, right?
Yeah, I just want to leave. I've never had this happen before, that a fly just stays on me. It's alive.
I love it.
What's with the fly, Eric?
Chaga Rishians Chitsanda.
Until Reza comes.
Okay.
I don't. Hey. No comment. It's just what. It's not what you think it is.
I don't want it to be like, it doesn't feel bad. It's just, I've never had a fly like not fly away.
Reza,
Just be present.
Okay.
let's see this chat here.
I don't know anything.
Perfect. Hold on.
I do know.
I one time I went to, while we wait for Reza, I went to a Sundance in South Dakota. And
I like it that way.
that what?
Never mind.
Anyway, while I was there, I ended up having a grasshopper.
What?
A grasshopper. This was like in the middle of the.
Grasshopper.
Yeah. So the grasshopper came. It was 105 degrees, no shade whatsoever. Super like crispy, dry grass all around. And the grasshopper just came on. It came on.
In the morning, I think at like 11. I have no idea.
That was a big crack of the neck.
Who's talking?
Reza, what are you doing? You trying to talk?
Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They mute me.
Yeah. So we have Debbie here. We have Megan here. We have Joni here. We have Juliet here in the background who is sending us telegrams. And then, yeah. So Juliet said that she uses for her mind-body release. I mean, that makes sense. She uses chaga reishi, reishi mushrooms. Schizandra. Anybody ever heard of that? Schizandra? Yeah. Not related to schizophrenia. Yeah. And then she said dandelion root and burdock. And she also found Jaye Pause's Facebook. So
Cool. So it was a good experience, and you'd recommend it, Jared?
yeah. It was so intense. Well, yeah, to answer your second question, totally recommend it. I was sitting down here. Eric and I drove up from San Francisco at 2 a.m. So we got here at 6 a.m. At 9 o'clock, I had this session, and I like to do things like immediately when I find it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just book it that day, even though I'm not getting enough sleep. So I was laying here. I woke up at 8:45, right? 2 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. And then I got up, and he texted me. He says, okay, 9 minutes, I'll start. All right, in 5 minutes, I'll start. And so at 9 o'clock, he starts, and I can start feeling it, right? And I look at my phone to my left, and it's 9:40. It feels like 5 minutes went by. I mean, that's how energy healing works, though, as well, is because actually, I'm going to try to explain it, but I really don't know. But like, it's like time just speeds up so much, and that's what I felt. And he didn't finish. He usually finishes between 30 minutes and 45 minutes, but he didn't finish until 10:26. So that is 86 minutes, which is, yeah. So his sessions, just it's super simple, make it super simple. He does the Jaye Seals, the Jehovian Seals. He does other seals as well. He removes implants that may be holding us back from other areas of our life. He also removes cords that we may be connected to with other individuals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, anything.
Does he like repair damages in your etheric body or like leaks and stuff like that?
He does actually, yeah. So with the Jaye Seal, stop laughing. So with the Jaye Seal,
Why is it funny?
he does something called 15D auric clearing and 15D cord cutting. So that's all wrapped up in the $75 package.
He sounds cool. I have no idea what it is, but keep going.
Yeah, the same Jaye Seal. Other people will charge like maybe $175, $200.
Yeah.
So it's like from my perspective, this guy just wants to help as many people as he can.
Yeah.
And he is making it more accommodating for others too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess I just sort of wanted to hear it like from you to see if it's something that I really wanted to do, you know what I mean, to invest in, because like for me right now, like money's like super tight, but like it is something that I'm feeling called to, especially since the dream last night where I woke up in the morning being like, okay, what is this thing, you know, like, because like I don't know anything about it, but I just know that I have like energy leaks, I have things that I've been working on and things that like I feel like I can only get so far just doing myself. Like maybe I'm not at like the level where I can do that with myself, or maybe you just need to accept help from people.
It's definitely not recommended to remove those things by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even resident, you know? And anytime someone tries to remove their own cords, they only do it halfway anyway. It's really certain cords and certain things like this require guidance from the
shit that you can't see, right? Because you're wrapped up in it, right?
But it's not that much money from what I gather. It's only $75 a session. That's like it's not 1,000, it's not 100, it's 75 per session, right?
I know, it's definitely good.
So that's like way less than most teachers. Some of the teachers I come across are thousands of dollars.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I had an experience that had to do with a clearing. After I went to bed, there was a lightning storm that was happening. It was a flash lightning, so it was lightning. And so I projected myself into the lightning, and I was in there. And then what I did is I downloaded as much as the lightning as I could into my body, my etheric body, like the whole thing. I filled it up.
Yeah.
Then I created a reservoir to take the rest of it in there. And so, but then I fell asleep while this was happening. And then I woke up and I remembered the dream. And in the dream, I was looking at a mirror. And then I looked away from the mirror, and then the person that I was with is like, what's that on your face? And then I looked back to the mirror. And when I looked at the mirror, I had it looked like I felt like I had a pimple that I wanted to pop right here on my face. And so I kind of pressed on it, and then it was a worm that came out, and I kept pulling it all the way out, and got rid of it.
Incredible.
Joni, I want you to remember the experience with the lightning.
Yeah.
I want you to use this method. Every time you see a lightning storm, charge your body with the lightning etherically. And when you charge yourself enough, you can send that energy throughout the planet and then help others that are ready to be free, from these seals. You're
Awesome.
the doctor that made that happen for all of us. What I'm saying is that quite a bit of this has been removed on all of us already just by Jarrett discovering and researching this. And I have known about this for years now. I had no way of putting it into words. For the last 3 years, every now and again, I would speak to a friend of mine, And we would speak about Jehovah every now and again, and we just knew that that was a part of where people recorded and how they were affected. Now, if it's not Jehovian, it's usually these different beings that go by different names, call them the 15 dark multidimensional beings. And this is no joke. This is not something where someone can say, well, nothing outside of me can affect me. Well, that's a little bullshit, because you know what? We're all affected by it on some level or another. I'm not separate of so-and-so, and so-and-so is not separate of me. We're all interconnected. So when someone like Jared and others take the full charge to clear these things, it makes it easier to be cleared in the etherics.
Yeah.
Jared mentioned something about South Carolina. Those areas around South Carolina are interconnected to the 33rd parallel. 33rd parallel traces itself all around the world. It's where a lot of these lower, darker energetic grids are placed. One of my friends that I met in San Francisco, new soul friend, priestess, sister type, was complaining quite honestly about these different pains up and down her left side, mainly where the left shoulder is. And if you look on the map of where the Jaye Seals are, you'll see those exact spots or the exact areas, including around the face to the back of the head, where they're being affected. Myself, for many years, it was all my right side. Every single spot right side, here, 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 here. And it was reversed, but it's the same difference. It doesn't necessarily need to be the left side. It could be the right side on other people, regardless of what side it's on. As each one gets removed, it doesn't need to take the course of years. It can take a session or two. And what I noticed about this friend of mine in San Francisco, there was a mirroring happening, and I witnessed this primarily in the feminine, and they all had the same recurring issue on their left side, mainly by their left back shoulder, and sometimes they have these like chronic headaches, sometimes not, and they have the left back pain issue, and it's all this what I call hooked energy, hooked, gapped, like sealed up energy, causes massive amounts of pain and discomfort, and usually prevents someone from even remembering their dreams. It helps them have it basically causes bad short-term memory or long-term memory issues. There's fogginess involved, there's lethargy involved, and quite honestly, if those people that do have those Jaye Seals and they're into any kind of smoking, drinking, it amplifies those Jaye Seals many. And they can say all they want, that nothing outside of them will harm them. If they're feeding that, something else is feeding off of them. Guarantee it. And that's the issue. And I discovered her, where she was living was at a place, it was like number 33. And I realized the 33rd energy, 33rd degree energy was affecting her and still is. And I'm a little concerned about that as the overall dynamic of these greater cities in San Francisco. And if each of us on some level or another can remove our Jehovian seals, Jared already has, I did several years ago. Even if I think I did, it would still benefit that I do another session. It wouldn't hurt. We could get to such a level and degree that with our stone keys and with our tools, we can actually remove these seals on a freaking city-wide level. We don't have to wait for Jaye Pause, but we could become our own aspect of that as we remove it in ourselves, and then remove it throughout the grid lines of the cities, of, I wouldn't say the whole world, but different pockets of reality within different cities. And I feel the strongest of that energy was in San Francisco because of artificial intelligence, because of Google, because of Facebook, because of Silicon Valley, these interloping energies through artificial intelligence. And it is my utmost intention that as it's removed in individuals, it is then removed in the larger city landscape of things, and it'll be very noticeable when you do remove them. The energy levels are so much higher, and your focus is so stronger. Coolest thing is you're likely to also open up your third eye vision and also regain memory and abilities in your own dream time. And the dreaming body, for as long as I've known and things I've studied, that's where sometimes the greatest energy is harvested. That's where sometimes the greatest memory is like taken from someone. So when these Jaye Seals and other implants and things are removed, you can remember your dreams, you remember your visions, your epiphanies, and have breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, and then keep building in them that momentum so that you can't be fed off of, you can't be energy harvested, you can't have any of that ever again, because all that stuff is removed. So the next time any of us come across someone that's experiencing pain, especially if it's on the left side, it's as equivalent on the right side, but the left side, more than likely, they are dealing with one of those seals. So if you remove it in yourself and you kind of get a better understanding of how to do that kind of psychic surgery, you can then be a catalyst to help remove it in others. And that's what I was doing on an individual basis with different people in San Francisco. And I'm not done yet. That's why I may go back. It was incomplete. And it wasn't until I met Jarrett and then we were driving back to Shasta, it was like, it actually answered the question about everything that was being removed and all the things that were being like regridded. It like gave greater detail of what was happening. The very last thing I'll say is if they're not removed, this is a forewarning. And there are people that you know that may have them, or even yourself, and you tried to go into either partnership via business or partnership via relationship, one or several of these dark multidimensional beings will basically jump into whoever that is via partnership. And both people need to be cleared no matter what. Because if one is cleared and the other isn't, it will not work. And that was another reoccurring trend I discovered. And just because you get out of one relationship and then go into another, that energy will keep hopping into the next person, into the next, the next, the next. It won't be cleared until you're cleared and that person is cleared. So there's no point of trying to go into partnership or relationship unless you know for a fact both people are cleared from that interloping dark multidimensional being type energy. And don't be convinced by them saying that they are cleared from it, because more than likely they aren't, unless they've had reoccurring sessions of healing, and mainly through Jaye Pause, and even Debbie can do similar energy work, and I can too, knowing that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years with people. And it,
so
that's it.
yeah, I want to harp on something that you brought up. The Jehovian Seals, another name for the Jehovian Seals is the Death Seals. Okay, so this is the theory behind everything that I've been reading, everything I've been studying. So 400,000 years ago, these very dark beings came to Earth. And the thing about Earth is a very beautiful place because it's a heaven on a planet. You know, it has the possibility to be an extremely beautiful heaven on a planet inside of a universe. And not all planets are like that. We also have free will, you know, and not all planets have that either. So we have a lot of things going on with Earth. And Earth is it's beautiful. Like if you look at Earth from outer space, it's very exquisite and has this very nice color. So Earth has a lot of other things that attract beings. You know, it's a very light planet. It has some density too. What I'm getting at is 400,000 years ago, these beings called the Anunnaki came to the Earth, right? And they wanted to harvest energy on us because they split off from the Creator, like I was telling you earlier, but they had lost their ability to connect with life force because that's part of the source. What they did was they put these death seals in, what they're called the Jehovian seals. The death seal is what keeps people from living until they're 800 or 900 years old. I know it sounds super off the wall, but if you think about it, and if you read about all this literature, if you read about Saint Germain living to like 1,000 years old and all this other stuff, and Babaji from Yogananda, from his adventures in the Himalayas, you read about all these beings that live for so long. There's got to be a way, you know? And all of us are, almost the whole planet is dealing with health issues.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? Like, this shouldn't be like this. And if the Jehovian seals are called the death seals too, they keep people in cycles of reincarnation to live to be 70 or 80 or something like that. And it's not cool. It's not cool, you know? It's like,
Those are dicks.
yeah, a bunch of dicks, you know? Why did you steal my food?
Oh.
What? Who?
Was that you?
He wants to know about RH negative.
RH negative?
I don't think. She typed it.
You talking about the rhesus monkeys?
No.
No.
No. RH negative blood.
RH blood. Yeah. It's called the rhesus monkey effect.
You're gonna have to type it.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, what Jared just described there, I was talking to all these people about in San Francisco, mainly the Divine Feminine and the sisters, and I realized, oh my God, this is exactly what they've been going through, and probably the people they've been with have been going through. And I was explaining the reincarnation grids, how it's a death entrapment. It's an entrapment cycle, and it's not horrifying by any means. And the fact that once such seals are removed and your things are gridded properly and correctly, and this may sound far out, but you won't die. You will not die
unless you choose to.
Unless you choose to. Or unless you go with someone, a partnership-wise, who isn't cleared, then you're going to deal with their crap until they're cleared. So it's really important that both sides are fully and completely, quote-unquote, cleared, because it'll be a continuum of reincarnation, grid, death-like entrapment. Another indication of that is chaos. Chaos is another form of chaos is called war. This is what Jehovah has been or is, and he's very damnation, judgmental based. And it's not just a he, there's other, ET influences that are involved as well.
I guess just to summarize and wrap this up, what this makes me think of is, how much do we really know on our planet? I guess that's the whole thing with it, is like everything we've been taught, about spirituality, about all this, it's almost as if it's just unwrapping like a present. It's like an onion, it just keeps on unwrapping. And just keep discovering. Because the way I see it is not any, religion or philosophy, including Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga, shamanism, Ayurveda, everything, Christianity, not everything has all the answers. Because if everything had all the answers, we wouldn't be in a position that we're at right now. And there's got to be so many answers that are hidden in medicine, things that we do not know, and things that are kept from us so people can have money. And yeah, that's really, I'm just thankful that I was able to find these seals and share them with you.
Yeah, no shit. I'm glad you guys are finding them.
Yeah. And Megan, yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Ladies, I keep saying guys, it's more of like a, but
it's all right.
They're not dudes, Jared.
I'm so glad y'all are here.
They're not all dudes.
No. If it's a group of women, we usually call each other guys anyway. It's just how it goes. So we're not like, you said guys and we're women. We're not even ladies or girls. We're women. No. We're fine. We're good.
Awesome. Yeah. Joni, what's up?
Hey, hey. I'm still with this fly.
Incredible.
Have you seen it before?
Yeah, maybe, you know, he wants to be here.
He wants to be cleared of the seals too.
Oh yeah.
In my life, I've never had a fly hang around so like this, like a pet.
So Reza just said, she said the concept of having to die and reincarnate is a projected reality from these death seals. We are meant to be immortal light. This sums it up pretty well. Nice. Nice simplification.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have to get ready for our men's group. We have a men's spiritual group in Mount Shasta. So it has been a pleasure. Namaste. Namaste to all. And I would love to do this again. This was incredible. And what would be better is if everybody was here. We had all these faces, all these expressions, all this energy going on here. That'd be incredible. So I'm going to think about maybe another system that makes it easier for us to communicate, and then we can go from there.
Very good.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Enjoy your group.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan.
Bye, Megan. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Juliet.